everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to my channel, Backcountry Stitcher. If you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. I look forward to this every couple of weeks and I love talking to you guys in the comments. If you're new, thank you so much for taking the time to click on my channel, and if you enjoy yourself, please consider liking and subscribing and doing all the YouTubey things. So okay, well, let's get into this. So I need to admit something. This is actually the second time I have filmed this video. I filmed a whole video, and then when I came downstairs to talk to my husband, he was like, "Oh, did you film that video with that in your teeth?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" I filmed an entire video with a small piece of spinach in my teeth from my spinach feta wrap that I had from Starbucks earlier. So here we are, take two. So I'm a little disorganized because of that, so I apologize in advance. Anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, if you want to follow me on Instagram or reach out to me on Instagram, you can find me at backcountry_stitcher. You can also reach out to me through email at backcountrystitcher@gmail.com. I put up a Flosstube extra recently because I was at Stitching in the Springs in Yellow Springs, Ohio, and had a fantastic time there. If you are interested in learning or hearing about it and hearing about my experience there, you can check out my video, my vlog that I will link below. I do want to give a little bit of a plug for Stitching in the Springs. So it is located in Yellow Springs, Ohio, which is about 30 minutes east or so of Dayton, Ohio, and it is at the Mills Park Hotel, which is a gorgeous hotel. 10 out of 10 recommend this hotel. Couple of shout outs from there that I wanted to just mention. So, and these are Flosstubers who have some great channels. First is Alara. She does a lot of full coverage and she does some non-full coverage, but I would say mostly full coverage stuff. She's fantastic. She's fun to just like listen to, chat with. I mean, listen to her chat. Love watching her. She also makes these amazing bags. I'll show you. So this is one of her bags. There's this and then that. And they have two pockets. Whoop, whoop. I love this bag so much. I also got at Stitching in the Springs, I got another one of her bags, and they're big too. She has different sizes, but yeah, this is great. I love them so much. So I'll put a link to her website below. But definitely check out Alara. I also want to mention Suki from Suki the Brown-Eyed Stitcher. She has a great channel as well. She is working on Amy Stewart's Treasure Hunt bookshelf, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's a supersized max color version. It is gorgeous. I got to see it in person and I was so excited to see it. It was amazing. And she does a lot of full coverage. She also does some non-full coverage. She has a chatelaine. She's got a bunch of stuff going on. So check out Suki. I really like her channel and I like hanging out with her when she posts. I did also meet Janet from Janet Jabbers, and she was new to me. She's been around for a while, but she was new to me. She is very high energy and she does a lot of smalls. She is super nice and kind in person, and I recommend her channel. She's a quick talker like I am, so I liked that. The other person I met was Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Now, if you've been on Flosstube for any amount of time, you probably know about Jessie. She does not need a shout out or anything from me. She started WhipGo, which is super popular. It's like bingo for cross stitch, basically. So she also does some full coverage. She does some mirabilias and some various other patterns. So she's so nice, just so nice. Loved meeting her. As far as retreat news goes for me, so I will be going to Stitching in the Springs again next year. However, They are doing 2 next year. They're doing one in March. I think the registration for that opens pretty soon for the public. And then they're doing one in November. I cannot go to the March one. I have a prior commitment that weekend. So I'm planning on going to the November one. I did also... you guys, I need to check myself here. So in April, I signed up for Stitchnanigans, which is in Las Vegas, which in itself, not a big deal. Like, great, I'm going to Las Vegas. It's not far from Salt Lake City, quick flight, no big deal. Yeah, so I'm also going to Stitch North the weekend after that, which is in Toronto. So 2 retreats, 2 weekends right next to each other. And then add on top of that, the first week of April, my family is coming into town for Passover. So I'm going to be pretty exhausted in April. And then I am also planning on going to Stitch West again. Once registration opens for that, I will be absolutely signing up. And then I did get into the Queen City Stitch Retreat in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is a retreat being put on by Maggie from Kitschy Whips and Amy from Fiber Arts Amy. They wanted to do a Mirabilia themed retreat, so that's what it is. So I'm really excited to be able to be a part of that. So if you're keeping score, that is 5 retreats that I am currently planning on going. Now, I was thinking about going to the Grace Notes Fabrics retreat, but I decided against that. It just was going to be a little bit too much for me. So as of right now, 5 retreats for next year. I need my head examined, but I'm so excited. I love them so much. All right, so let's get into the stitching. So I had 5 whips, technically. Well, not technically. I had 5 whips. I can only show you 4 of them, though, because one of the whips was the model stitch that I was doing for Jan Hicks from Jan Hicks Creates. It has not, as of the filming of this video, it has not been released yet, so I cannot share that. I would say I spent most of my time stitching that because I wanted to get it done as quickly as possible for her. So that is finished, but I cannot show it yet. I will hopefully be able to show you in my next video. So the first one I'll show you is from the Cross-Eyed Cricket, the Cricket collection, and it is Autumn. And I also want to say I have to apologize for the lighting. It is getting dark very early, as you all know, and so I don't have natural lighting from the outside in this room right now, so I apologize. So this is Autumn. And the last time you saw it, I had done the U, the M, and part of the N. And I finished, I'm going to come over here. It's a little bit easier. I finished the N and I started in on I finished that little bird and I started in on the T. So I'm actually about halfway done with this because it's 6 letters. It's 6 letters and I'm starting in on the 4th. So it's coming out really cute. That bird does have a beak. It's just not showing up very well. It's just 1 stitch, but it shows up better in person that he has a beak. So that is Autumn. And I mean, if I keep up pace on this, I may actually finish this in time to start winter on the winter solstice with having this finished. I mean, I'm gonna start winter anyway, but it would be nice if this were done before yeah, it'd be nice if it were done. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not putting any kind of pressure on myself to do that. Okay, so I will put that there. So the other one I worked on was the swans from the Cottage Garden Samplings, A Year in the Woods. So when I last showed this to you guys, I think I had all the white, like I had the black part and the white done from this swan. Oops, sorry, from this swan and all of the body down here. So what I did was I actually did all of this like outlining here. And then I was able to just fill in when I was on the plane and at the retreat. Oops, let me just fix this really quick. There we go. And there's the swans. So I got quite a bit done on this. I finished the neck of the other swan. I filled in a lot of the feathers, and then I have to just finish outlining over here, outlining these feathers and then filling them in. And then I'll be done with the actual swans, and then I get to start in on the background, which there's a lot going on in the background of this, you guys. Like, I love these pine cones, love them, but there's a lot of stitching up here. So definitely more background than what was going on with the fox and the raccoon, which are the other two ones that I've stitched so far. So yeah. So that is the swans. And I will put that, like I said, it's a little disorganized because it's my second time filming. So the next one I worked on was a fan favorite, Cathedral Woods Goddess. This is a Mirabilia pattern. And I love her so much. Love her. And here is where I'm at. So let's see, what did I do on this since the last time I saw you guys? I think I did these leaves right here. These are all gonna be leaves with back stitching. These leaves, I believe I did, you guys will have to look in the comparison photo, I'm not sure. And then I did her arm and started this part of her dress here. So she's coming along pretty quickly, all things considered. I'm really happy with how she's looking. I really love this variegated floss. This is, forget the number, but it's a Karen Water Lily and it's the color Slate. And I really, really like that. I love how that's turning out. So there's Cathedral Wood Goddess. So I discovered, I did not know when I first started this, that you are supposed to do the Krennic after you do all of the regular floss. I didn't know that. It makes sense because the Krennic is kind of rough, and when you run your cotton thread next to it, it can kind of roughen it up. I haven't had a problem so far. I haven't really noticed it. So I'm gonna just, for this one, I'm just gonna kind of keep on keeping on with how I've been doing it, because there's so much Krennic in it that it's really hard to count, and make sure you're counting right if you're not stitching the Krennic in at the same time. So I'm just gonna keep on doing it that way. It might be a big no-no, big taboo, and maybe I shouldn't be admitting this on the internet, but it's been working for me so far. I think my next one, which I'll show you, I probably am gonna do the Krennic last and try it that way, but it's very difficult on this one to do that. So that's Cathedral Woods Goddess. She's coming along nicely. And this is on the fabric. This is a 32 count Lugana in the color Heritage by Picture This Plus. I forgot to mention, so Autumn is on 32 count Lugana Vintage Country Mocha by Picture This Plus, and the Swans is on 32 count linen in the color Storm by Picture This Plus. I have a lot of Picture This Plus fabric going. I have a lot of other fabric, but for some reason these pieces are all on Picture This Plus. So the last one I have is a new start. And this is one I have been planning on doing for a long time. This was going to be my first Mirabilia start, but that didn't happen because it took me a very long time to get the fabric in. I'm not complaining, it just took a long time. And this is Lilith of Labrador. Isn't she pretty? So I picked this, I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I mentioned not only is she beautiful, but I really like that she was named Lilith, because Lilith was in kind of Judeo-Christian mythology. Lilith was the first wife of Adam. And this is not canon. This is just literally like mythology. So Lilith was supposed to be supposedly the first wife of Adam. She did not want to obey Adam, so she was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and in traditional religious mythology, she becomes the mother of all demons, and she's kind of this like negative, demon character in the story. But in more modern times, she's taken on the kind of role of a feminist icon. so she's seen more as a symbol of feminism these days. And that's kind of how I see Lilith, is as more of a feminist icon, is what she is. So I love her though. So I did start her. And this is my start. So this fabric is, it's the color, it's 32 count Lugana in the color Tsunami by Bestitch Me. Love it. So this is her arm here. This is the bottom part of her hair. And then this is her torso. And this is like her upper bra, I guess, part. And this is gonna be the top of her tail. So I thought it was interesting too, because when I started stitching her, I was like, this color, like this is like purple. She's kind of like, her skin's like this light grayish purple. And at first I didn't know what to make of it, but I actually really like it for her. I know this is going to sound super weird when I say it, but it fits her personality, in my opinion. So I really love her. I got this, I stitched on quite a bit at the retreat. I think I spent like a whole day stitching on her. I mean, I say quite a bit. I mean, if you've ever been to a retreat, you know you don't get nearly as much stitching done as you think you would. So, yeah. So that's Lilith. I love her. I really am digging her skin color. It's just kind of, it's just different. You know what I mean? So that is all of my stitching that I can show you, because like I said, I can't show the model piece that I've been working on. So let's get into haul. I have quite a bit of haul. I bought a few things at Stitching in the Springs, and then I went on some sort of bender on 123 Stitch and got a whole bunch of stuff from there. So as far as what I got from Stitching in the Springs, I got 2 pieces of fabric from a company called Live and Dye LA, with D spelled D-Y-E. This is, and I'm actually going to turn my ring light off for this. It's going to be kind of dark, but I think it gives a better, better color interpretation. So this is the color Husavik. And I love that. I think this is what I'm going to do my winter piece on. I have this. So I think this is what I'm going to do winter on. I think so. I like it. And then I also got another fabric that's kind of similar, but lighter. This is called London Fog. It's also a 32 count Lugana. And this one, I have to check to make sure it fits. I do, yeah, it should, but I'm gonna do red on this. This is Mirabilia red. I think that's gonna look really nice. Let me know if you have any, if you don't think so. So that is what I got from Stitching in the Springs. Today I bought this cute little scissor fob. This is, so I go to Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in Salt Lake City. It's my LNS. It's like less than 10 minutes from my house. And this scissor fob was made by the lady, Jamie, who runs the shop. Like, she's like the manager. And look at how beautiful that is, that little octopus. See, I don't know why everyone else, when they put their hand up, it like focuses, but it doesn't do that for me. So you're gonna have to look at it from further away. So that is a nice scissor fob. It's gonna go on my new scissors that I also bought while I was there. The other thing, this is not, I guess this is technically Stitchy related, but I finally got a magnetic whiteboard to put my needle minders on, because I was just finding needle minders like all over the house. So there's that. So I got that. All right, my 123 Stitch situation. Let me make sure I have it all here, because I like I said, I put stuff away. So first of all, I kitted up red. And I got all of the beads and Karen water lilies and all of that. I also kitted up winter. So I got all the threads, and then I got this beautiful krennic. It's like this white sparkly krennic for it. So that happened. Gosh, I'm almost a little embarrassed at what I bought because I got a whole bunch of patterns that I probably, and by probably I mean definitely, did not need. So okay, so first of all, I got the Last Year in the Woods, which is the reindeer, and I love it. He is gorgeous and perfect, and I love him. And I cannot wait. I think this is going to be the next one that I stitch after the swans. And then once I stitch him, I'll have all of the winter ones done. So that'll be fun. So there's the reindeer. And then, so this one, my friend Rhonda was stitching this, and I was like, oh, it looks cute. So I added that to my cart. It's Mountains. This is by Madame Chantilly, who I've never stitched before, but it's called Mountains. And the white's easier to see in person. And I just thought this was really good would be really nice for my house because we live literally at the foot of the Wasatch Mountains. I mean that literally, like we're like a mile from the mouth of the canyon. So I thought that would be good. So I got that. And then, so if you've been watching this channel for a little while, you may or may not remember the honeybee situation, which was a Mill Hill buttons and beads kit that I had quite a bit of trouble. I wouldn't say a lot of trouble with it, but it was challenging. It was a challenging piece for me. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do another buttons and beads, and if I was, when I was going to do it. But I found this, and I think I need to stitch on it like in the next couple of months. So this is a Mill Hill buttons and beads from their winter series called Ski Dog. So this is perfect because my husband and I we love dogs. I mean, I'm a vet. We love dogs, and we love skiing too. So I thought this was really cute, and I really, really want to stitch this. Even after all the drama with the honeybee, I want to stitch this really bad. So I think I'm going to set this up and start stitching on it maybe in like a month or so, like in December. I'm not sure. We'll see. And then more patterns that I don't know when I'm ever going to get to be able to stitch, but having them makes me happy. So why not have them? Okay, so this one, I'll start with the I'll start. So I was just having this discussion with someone today about Bella Filipina, that I wasn't sure how I felt about Bella Filipina. They're beautiful, like they're beautiful fancy ladies, but they're a little bit more, they look a little anime to me, their faces, if that makes sense. And so I wasn't kind of sure how I felt about them, but then I saw this one and I was like, I'll give that a try. I like it. This is called Tala, Deity of the Stars. And she is part of what I believe is like a companion. There's two companion pieces. There's a deity of the sun and a deity of the moon, and one's facing right and one's facing left and one's facing right, and then this one's facing forward, and I think they're all meant to go together. So, but she does look, she looks a little anime. Not opposed to it, but definitely different. So I thought she was pretty. I also got some Nora Corbett's. So this one, I genuinely do not remember ordering. And I think it's funny when it came, and it's from the Black Forest Pixies collection. It's called The Willow Queen. And who does that remind you of? Look familiar? So I must have just, I don't know. I honestly do not remember ordering this at all. So, but I like it and I'm glad I have it. She's pretty. I did also, so she's got these like letters from mermaids collection, and they're really small. Like this one's only 82 by 106 stitches. So not bad at all. And I got the J, of course, for Jen. And she's pretty. I love these little like treasures. I guess they're treasures or beads. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So that's the letter J. And then I bought more Mirabilias, you guys. And do you know what I did? I bought them without looking to see what the floss or the like Krennic or beads and treasures went with them. So let's find out together, shall we? So this one is Mermaids of the Deep Blue. It's these two beautiful mermaids. Feel like there's a lot of movement in this piece, which I really like. And this is actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I actually like the fabric they picked for this. I don't usually like the Mirabilia fabric that they put the model stitch on. Yeah. But I really like that. I thought they're beautiful. Now, as far as there's not much in this one, really. There's 4 Krennics, 5 beads. One requires 2 packs, one requires 5 packs. Yeah, there's a lot of beads in the tail. And then there's just 1 treasure that you need 2 packs of. So as far as kitting this up goes, it's not as bad as some Mirabilias. I got also Persephone. So this one, my friend Jamie from Cross Stitch and Chill, she had this and I thought it was super cool. So Persephone in mythology, the god Hades fell in love with her and took her down to his kingdom in the underworld. But she gets to go back up to up above the underworld once a year, and that's when spring comes. So it's a nice story. There's also something about pomegranates in the story, but I can never remember what that is. So that's why she's eating a pomegranate. Oh, and she has, I'm not going to count all of these, but there are probably like, I would guess like 50 colors of DMC in this. There are 2 Karen water lilies, and then there's 11 types of beads. Only need 1 pack of each though, so there's that. And there's no treasures. Yeah. So that is Persephone. And then I got Renaissance Mermaid. I love her hair in this. Seem to be going for like the mermaids and mythological. Oh, there's another mermaid in here too. And I love her little like peacock situation here. It's really cute. So this one, it's not terrible. There's 3 Krennics, 2 water lilies, and then there's 5 types of beads, but 2 of them you need 3 packs. And then there's just 2 treasures. So it's not that bad either. So now this last one, I actually did look at what you require. So I do know what's in store, but I am in love with this. This is Enchanted Mermaid. And I love her so much. Now, this one is actually, there is a model stitched of this at my LNS. So if you want to see a live this in person, you can come out to Salt Lake City, go to Craft Center of Fine Stitchery and you will be amazed. It is gorgeous. Now, here's the complicating part with this, is that, so it requires like a normal amount of floss, like nothing too crazy, nothing too, like, I don't know, 30 flosses, I guess. 4 Krennics, you need 2 spools for 2 of them. There's 3 packs of beads, or 3 types of beads, but you need 3 packs for one and 2 packs for another. Now, here's where it gets you, is the treasures. So there's 5 treasures. The first one, you need 2 packs. The second one, you need 9 packs. The third one, you need 2. The fourth one, you need 10. 10 packs of treasures. But the fifth one, you need 14 packs. That's insane. This is an extremely treasure heavy piece. Now, I was like, I wanted to start stitching this right away. It's not going to happen because when I went to like kit it up and like get everything, it was $177, not including the fabric. Yeah. It's expensive to kit up some of these projects. And the Mirabilias are expensive, can be expensive, but even more, like I've heard the chatelaines can be like hundreds of dollars. It's a lot. It's a lot. You can do this hobby on a budget, or you can spend as much money as you like can imagine on this hobby. I am trying to not be in the latter category. Yeah. So that's Enchanted Mermaid. I really, really, really do want to do her. I just don't know when that's going to be. So I think, yes, that is all of my haul. So if you are here for just the stitching stuff, thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. Please leave me a comment and consider subscribing if you're not already. So if you are interested in hearing me yammer on for a few more minutes, I was planning on talking about another national park. I wanted to talk about Lassen Volcanic National Park, which is a park. It's in, and I do have some notes if you have me looking down, because I wanted to make sure I told you guys all the right stuff. It's in Northern California, kind of like central-ish Northern California. It's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. And we drove there. This was part of our epic national park road trip. We drove there from Redwood National Park, and it was like 4 or 5 hours of just nothing but windy road. So it was 4 or 5 hours, but it felt much longer. You're going through like canyons and on the sides of like cliffs and through the countryside. It was just, it was a drive. I'm just glad my husband was driving and it wasn't me. Pardon me. It is a really cool park. So it has, first of all, I'm not an expert, by the way, of national parks. This is just based on my experiences and things that I've read. But this is the only place, to the best of my knowledge, this is the only place in the world where you have all 4 volcano types. Now, what are those volcano types? I don't know. I could have looked that up before I started doing this video, but I didn't. So, but it is the only place that you can find all 4 types, whatever those might be. It also has Lassen Peak, which is the largest plug dome, I think it's called plug dome volcano in the world, which I thought was interesting. What makes it a plug dome volcano? I don't know. I don't know what that really means, but maybe you do. It was designated as a park in 1916 after some eruptions started happening in 1914. And it also, the other interesting fact is that it has the largest group of California, what are they called? California red, Sierra Nevada red foxes is what it is. They have the largest population of those, of 20 individuals, because they are one of the rarest mammals in the state of California. So they have those there. We didn't see them because there's only 20 of them, which says a lot that group is the largest group of them, how many there are out there. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on there. It's probably most well known for its geologic activities. So because it's a volcano area, there's a lot of thermal features, and you can actually get to some of these thermal features just off the road, off the main road that goes through the western part of the park. And I think that's called Sulphur Works. So if you don't want to go for a hike, you can still see thermal features. If you want to hike, there's a hike that you can do called Bumpus Hell. And at first, I wasn't sure we were going to be able to do this hike, but I'm so glad we did. It was 3 miles round trip, so not too bad. There wasn't a lot of, steep areas, not a lot of elevation gain, anything like that. Relatively straightforward hike, but you get to this area that has a bunch of thermal features, and then you can like go down into it. They built like a boardwalk so that you can get up close to the thermal features. Now, it's similar to what they have in Yellowstone, where all the geysers are, which I'll talk about in a different video. But the big difference is that there's no one there. The park gets like less than 500,000 visitors a year, which for a national park is not much. And we had the whole place to ourselves for like half an hour. We were just wandering around looking at all the stuff. It was like having a part of Yellowstone to yourself for half an hour. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. As we were leaving, a couple people showed up, not many. So Bumpus Hell, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10, recommend that hike. It was really, really cool. The other hike you can do is Lassen Peak. We did not do this hike. It's 5 miles, but it has 2,000 feet elevation gain, and it's pretty exposed. So we didn't do that hike. But if you want to climb to the top of Lassen Peak, you can. And actually, I should have mentioned, so I think I kind of touched on it. There were some eruptions that started around 1914, but in 1915, a big eruption happened. And so some people went to check it out. And a couple days after they got there, an even bigger eruption happened that like exploded the top of the mountain. And because there were people there that were kind of studying what happened at the previous eruption, this one guy, B.F. Loomis, caught it on camera. So I'll try to insert a picture of what he saw or what he took a picture of. So I thought that was a really cool story. So there's also the Manzanita Lake area, which is like kind of the northern portion of the park. And there's a beautiful lake there. It's a small lake. People like kayak and kind of paddleboard on it, no motorized vehicles or anything like that. There is a hike you can do all the way around. I think it's like 2-ish miles, but it's completely flat. Super, super easy and quick to do. And there's a little museum in that area. There's a campground there. So really, really cool place. We also did another hike called to Paradise Meadows, and I really like this hike. There was some elevation gain. I can't remember exactly how much, but it wasn't too bad. And it kind of goes off of this creek. You follow this creek up, and there's some waterfalls there, and then you get to this beautiful meadow that's just surrounded by these mountains, and we had the whole place to ourselves. I think we saw one person hiking in when we were hiking our way out. That was it. So really beautiful hike, really beautiful park. There's also another section of the park that we didn't go to, which is the Butte Lake area. And they have some volcanic features as well. They have a big cinder cone that you can hike to or hike up. There's the Painted Dunes is another area. I would really love to see that. I'll be honest, Lassen Volcanic was like one of my favorite parks that I've been to. So could I see myself going back? Absolutely. And if I went back, I would check out that Butte Lake area as well. So this park definitely is awesome. It's a little hard to get to because it is in the middle of nowhere in Northern California. But if you do get the opportunity, I highly recommend going. It was really beautiful park. So yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. If you want to contact me, please feel free to leave a message in the comments. You can message me on Instagram or email me. I'll put all of that information below. And I will see you guys in a few weeks. Bye.